You may be wondering why I'm standing next to a garbage can and some recycling cans, and there are more garbage and recycling cans around the corner. I'm outside the Church of the Good Shepherd, and I'm standing here because these garbage cans are full because a few hours ago, people who might not have had a meal had a good, warm, and decent meal here at the Shepherd's table at Good Shepherd Church, their soup kitchen. There are soup kitchens around North Carolina, hospice ministries around North Carolina, environmental stewardship ministries around North Carolina, the Episcopal Farm Workers Ministries that all have their origins in part to the life and the work of a man named Lex Mathews.
Lex Mathews was the director of Christian social ministries for this diocese from 1975 until his untimely death in 1985. So a little over a decade that he spent as our director of Christian social ministries.
He was such a man with such a vision, and really lived the gospel and made us realize what it is that we as Christians should be doing, and really following the true path of Christ.
What made that decade when Lex was director of Christian social ministries so important for us to go back and think about is that Lex revolutionized the way we thought about Christian social ministries in this diocese. Lex put much more emphasis upon getting parishes directly involved in Christian social ministries right there in their own neighborhoods and their own communities. So he placed great emphasis on things like starting soup kitchens and food banks and those kinds of hands-on ministries right there in communities.
He was such a charmer, and well, I just have to say he had the most beautiful blue eyes, and you just said yes, and his ideas were all so wonderful. And he had such a marvelous, charming presence that before you knew it, you were excited about the ideas. And he had so many wonderful plans, and it was easy to be convinced that, yes, this is something I want to get involved with.
Lex's legacy can really be measured in two ways. One is in the lifelong influence that he had on particular individuals.
You know, I have a health condition that really kind of stopped a lot of things, and I was trying to figure out what to do. And when the Lord said, go to school, I just laughed. I always say I laughed like Sarah, you know, because I'm old. You know, and I was like, what? And so I did. I had stepped out in faith, and there was Lex Mathews scholarship. I'm really blessed to be able to say that you know, it's not a domino effect, you know, because dominoes fall. It was like, if you want to say a reverse, it actually helped me stand up. And so I just can't go any further than say that, you know, it's been a very huge blessing, and it's transformative, you know, because I truly want to give back.
The other way to measure his legacy is institutionally. The soup kitchens and food banks and other institutions that were started up during the time that Lex was in charge of Christian social ministries. Many of those continue even to today, even if their name has changed and the organization has evolved. But things like Migrant Farm Worker Ministry, that began under Lex.
My understanding is he went to the Episcopal Church women in the North Carolina diocese and then the Eastern diocese, and got them enthusiastic about this ministry, and set up clothing shelters there on the land outside of Newton Grove. The women from the Eastern diocese and the Diocese of North Carolina, different churches, took turns distributing the clothes, collecting and distributing the clothes. And then it grew from there. The ministry grew from there.
I was blessed with the path to go to Meredith for the last 2 years of my undergraduate degree. And then I was even more blessed to be accepted into NC State School of Social Work, which is my goal. And I was able to get into the advanced standing program all with God's help, and I do owe a lot to Lex Mathews Scholarship to be able to get that ball rolling and to be able to feel like I'm following a path that God sent. So I do believe that God sent Lex Mathews into my life via the scholarship, because it really has changed my life. It really has directed a path forward that I feel like I can get back.
It just has been a journey, and I have to say it started with Lex as far as I personally am concerned.
On April 5th, 4 bishops and countless other people will gather to share stories and to remember the legacy and learn from that legacy of Lex Mathews. I hope you'll join us, so please come April 5th here at the Church of Good Shepherd in Raleigh for an opportunity to remember the ministry of Lex Mathews and to claim that legacy for the church going forward. God bless you.